numbers of seats were sold, then displays the amount of income generated from ticket sales.
Thank you for reading that thing for us. Now, let's take a few seconds. Enoch, how do you understand this question? Enoch, are you there? Enoch is not with us. Interesting. Ruby, are you there? Ruby is not also with us. Gerard, are you there? Why do you people just come and join the online and leave? You know you're supposed to be on class, right? Interesting.
Sir, can I express, try to explain?
You can.
Okay, sir. So, if I should bring it to our normal lives, when you visit a sports stadium,
Okay.
we have categories whereby they have the regular stand, the VIP stand, and I think one that is premium or something. So in relation to this, I think the three seatings, the amount that is being taken or the cost that is being taken is taken according to the seats or the categories that the stadium has, and they are in threefold. So I think the class E, which is of course the highest amount, and then followed by class B, and then the least is class C. Yes, sir. That's how best I can explain it all.
Charlie, even if I should have explained it, I can't explain it like how you just explained. You have done all. Okay. David, are you there?
Yes, sir.
What is the problem they want us to solve?
Okay, sir, from what is here, they want to know the amount of tickets that were sold to each category, so they know the total amount they generated.
Are you sure that's what they want to know?
So they want to know the amount of tickets that were sold, and also know the total income generated from the ticket sales.
Read here again. Okay. What do they want us to do?
So to determine the income generated.
Thank you. That's what they want us. You see, that is the problem. That is the problem they want us to solve. Understanding the problem they want us to solve is very, very important. So the problem statement is that they want us to write a program, to design a program to display the amount of income generated from ticket sales. This is what they want us to do. All the English they have written over there, all the descriptions they have done over there, this is what they want us to do. How do we get to this? Our entire mission is to get to this. So the question I'll ask here is, what kind of inputs do I need to get to this? For me to be able to know the income generated from tickets, what do I need? Baku, what do I need?
So the input we need is we need to receive the input from the user, which is the ticket for each class, the number of tickets for each class.
Let's stop there. So in the question, they said we need to see the tickets or the number of tickets. Do you say tickets or number of tickets?
Number of it.
Okay. So how will I write that?
You mean as in the C++ programming?
No, over here, they are saying that we need to take the number of tickets, right?
Yes, please.
Now, understandably, it means that when someone tells you, I sold 10 tickets, you have to keep it somewhere, right?
Yes, please.
Where will you keep it?
So we need to declare a variable.
Good. So the variable you declare, what do you want to call it?
So we can call it class underscore A.
So class underscore A. Then what again?
Then class underscore B.
Okay.
Then we repeat the same thing for C, class underscore C.
Hey, you do all. You do all. You do all. So these are our inputs. What are our output variables? At the end of the day, what variable is going to be our output?
So if you are to display the output, which is the income, then we have to also store it in the variables for each of them. So we can say income underscore A.
Okay, now let's pause there. The question says we want the income generated from tickets. Did they say we want the income from A? No.
Okay.
Did they say we want the income from B? No. Did they say we want the income from C? Wants the total what? Income. Are we okay? So here, yes, this can describe everything in which we are.
Everything. Yeah.
So you see, understanding the problem gives you a fair idea on what you have to do and what you don't have to do. Now, over here, I have my inputs. Over here, I have my output. Are there any things in which I have to do to get to my output? Are there any processing in which I have to do for me to get to my what? Output? Of course there is, because income is equal to the amount of tickets sold as class A times the class A price, which is what? 15 cedis.
Yep.
Plus the amount of tickets sold in class B, which is what? 12. Plus the amount of tickets sold in class C, which is what?
9.
9. But this should give me my what? Income. So you can see how the question is being broken down. All the English over here are translated into things in which I can quantify over here. Now I must transition this from this to code. So how will I write the code? I will start, because that will be my step 1. Step 2, I would read class A, comma, class B, comma, class what? C. Step 3, income is equal to all of this. Step 4, I will display what? income. Step 5, I will what? Stop. So now I must go to my C program. I'll go and open the VS Code. In VS Code, I want to group my work in the same location. So I'll go to File, I'll go to Open Folder, I'll open a new folder. I'll call this folder Class. I'll call it Class. And then in Class, I'll go and put there my main.cpp. So I've just created a C++ file. Let me make this thing bigger so that you guys can see it well. So I have this. Now I can write my C++ code. From our lessons last week, we said that for us to write C++ code, we first have to include the preprocessor directives. Remember, we are trying to solve all of this. So my preprocessor directives are include IO stream, remember include starts with the hash symbol. And then I'm going to be using namespace that is standard. If I'm writing C++ code, these are the first 2 things I have to do. I can't skip it. I can't. I have to tell the computer I'll be using the keyboard and the display. And here, all the names I'll be using that are standard to C++, you should recognize it. If I don't bring these things, I can't write my code. After that, I have to create the main function, which is int main into bracket that. Here I'll say return 0. I can't write my code if I can't do this. I can't. Now in here, I have to say int class A seats, comma, class B seats, comma, class C seats. I am using integer because you can't sell 1.5 tickets. You can only sell 1 ticket, 2 tickets, 3 tickets, 4 tickets, 5 tickets. You can't sell 1.5 tickets. I have double income. I'm using double because income is going to be money. So money, you can have some pesos. So if I make it double and there's pesos, then the pesos will be returned. Now, per our rules, we said we should read. Over here, the word could be ask. The word could be input. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, we are just telling you that here, the user has to put in these information. So remember what we said last week. If a user has to put in information, we need to ask and receive. So we will ask, cout, enter number of class A ticket. Cin class A. I'll go again. See out. Enter number of class B. Ticket. C in class B. See out. Enter number of class B. C, sorry, ticket. C in class underscore C. Now, I can say income is equal to all of the things in which we said over here. Every statement ends with a word, semicolon. Now, I can display to the user, see out, enter, see out, sorry, the tickets, or let me say the income generated is, then I'll just add this and tell the computer to display the content of what? Income. And when it is done, it should move to a new line. That's why the end L is there. It's not N1, it's end L. So if I go and click on the run button, it will run my code for me. And if there are no errors, it will run my code for me. And I can be able to tell the user how much income he or she is worth making. I hope we understand.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry. Mm. Oh, okay. Sorry. I've opened too many portals. Thank you. So over here, ticket A, there are plenty of people don't go there. So let's say there it was 50. Ticket B, let's say we had 200 people. But ticket C, let's say we have 350 people. So it means that we got an income of $6,300. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Let's have another one. Let's try another question of this nature and see if we can break it down again. We ready?
Yes, sir.
So again, another very honorable person Very, very good looking person, fine person. That means if you read it, you are good looking automatically. Should read it for us. Let's see. Ranger read the first one. So, Mr. Santi, are you there?
Yes.
Mr. Santi, please read it for us.
A car with 20-gallon gas tank averages 21.5 miles per gallon when driven in a town and 26.8 miles per gallon when driven on the highway. Provide the user with a menu as shown below. Distance covered. Please make a choice. 1, town. 2, highway. Bracket. Enter 1 or 2. Write a program that's based on the choice of your user, calculates and displays the distance the car can travel on 1 tank of gas when driven in a town and when driven on the highway. Also, convert and display the distance in kilometers.
Wonderful question. Now, to solve this question, there is a portion of this in which we have not done yet, in which we, as a group, have to do together. And what is that portion? Condition. In life, we have a choice. Whenever someone tells you, oh, it was a mistake, it's a lie. Because he had a choice. We all have a choice. We all have a decision to make. We can go left or right. You can choose to eat or not to eat. You can choose to be in class on time or not. You can choose to speak or not. We have a choice. We choose what we want to do. We decide. Everything we do, we decide. It is our choice. You make the choice based on a condition. So if a particular condition is met, then you will do a particular action. This is it. This is the structure of a condition in programming. For that matter, C++. I will only do this condition. Sorry, I'll only do this action here if this condition is met. If this condition is not met, I won't do the action. I won't do it. If the condition is met, then I will do a particular action. That means that whatever this condition is met, it has to be true. If it's not true, I won't do it. That means that if this condition is false, I won't do it. That means that I have to write this condition in such a way that it would evaluate to either true or false. If I write a mathematical question like 4 plus 4, the answer of this is arithmetic. I'll get 8. I'll get 8. Hello, are you there?
Yes, sir.
I'll get 8. But if I go and write that is 5, 4 bigger than 5, then my answer here is going to be false. 4 is not bigger than 5. That means the expressions I have to write for the condition here have to look like this. They have to be expressions in which, when you evaluate them, they give you an answer which is either true or false. That means that for me to evaluate true or false, there is a particular operator that I have to use. The operator is the relational operator. That is greater than, less than, greater than, or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to, and not. These are the expressions I would use to evaluate things. Let's try it out. If I go and write the following, that 3 and 1 here, this one, is it true or false?
It's true.
It's true. Over here, if I write this, is it true or false?
It's false.
It's false. Hey, false, ni who's spell you? You're spelling it. I'm really fixing the spelling false. I hear you. For it is like this. Charlie, my education has come true. If I go and write this, is it true or false?
It's true.
It's true. If I go and write this, is it true or false?
It's false.
It's false. If I go and write this, and this, is this true or false?
So double equal to is
It's mathematical equal
it's
to.
true. It's
Now
true.
you are saying that this and this are the same. So it's true.
It's the same. Yeah, it's true.
Okay. So if I go and write this and this, what is this telling me?
Which is 5 is not equal to 5, which is false.
Okay. Now, so these expressions here are okay until you start to realize that everything in which we have done over here, we have compared 2 things. You cannot compare more than 2 things. You can only compare 2 things at a time. I can't compare 3 things at a time, 4 things at a time. I can only compare 2 things at a time. If I have to compare things, I can only compare those things, 2 things at a time. So if I have to compare more than 2 things, it means I need an additional operator to help me. And that is where you see the logical operator coming into play. And the logical operators, we have the or, that is the 2 lines like this, And we have the and that is the two signs like this. So this is the or, and this is the what? And. That is, I can say, for example, 4 is greater than 3, or 3 is less than 5. Now, what would this answer give me? Over here, we are saying that 4 is greater than 3. So it means that here is going to be true. Or, and over here, we are saying 3 is less than 5, which is going to be true. Now, if you have an or, either one side can be true, the other side can be false, or both of them have to be true to get a true. That means over here, I'm going to get a true because obviously both sides are what? True. So you can use a combination of the relational operator and the logical operator to gain your condition. And we are saying that this type of operation here is supposed to be over here in the condition. Because once it is in the condition, I can evaluate this. And if I evaluate this, it will give me a true or false answer. So if this is true, then I'll come in what? Here. Let's have an example. I'm to write a program. And the program I'm to write is supposed to decide if a number is even or odd. So I'm to write a program, and the program I'm to write will decide if a number is even, just even. Let's do that one first. Let me ask you guys, how do you know if a number is even?
If it can be divided without any remainder.
Very good. So if I divide it and there is no remainder, then it is an even number. Hallelujah. How do we say that in math? If you divide a number and there is no remainder, how do we say it in math? So let me help you. I'll say if I have a number and I use mode on it to the 2, it should be equal to
0.
Now, what is the symbol for mode? Mode
Percent
means
sign.
find remainder. The symbol for mode is the percent sign. So technically, if I say number modulo 2 is equal to 0, I have just said even number. This is the representation of an even number. So if the said number modulo 2 is equal to 0, then display is even. Let me translate this into a program. So I'm going to say int the number is equal to, let's say, 10. So if, into bracket, the number modulo 2 is equal to 0, then the number cout is even. We'll stop. I've just written a code to determine if a number is an even number. Now, of course, if I run this program, you realize that it is always going to be 10. So if I don't want that to be the case, then here I need to ask a user, cout, please enter a number. I need to collect the number. So cin number. And then the number I've collected, I'll use to determine if it is even or odd. Based on the scenario that is presented in front of you, there are actions you need to take. Programming is not maths. You're not learning in a fixed box. Whatever that comes in front of you, you would flow with it. You would go with it. You'll find a way around it. You'll find a way. At the end of the day, we'll all get to the answer. How we'll get to the answer is very different from all of us. It is very important that we learn how to be malleable. It is very important that the videos that are sent to you after the class, you go and rewatch them. It is very important that you practice. And it is very important that you understand the structure, because the structure is always going to be if, condition, and then you have the then, that is the body. And then in the then, you would have the action you perform. If the question said I should determine if the number is an even number, then that means that 2 more this should give me a remainder of 1. So this will determine if the number is even. But you see, life is not like this. Life is not always, if it is this, then we are doing this. We don't do anything else. It's not like that. If I have money, I'll go to the cinema and watch Superman next month. If I don't have money, I'll stay home and wait for it to come out in the DVD 6 months later. You have a choice. You have a choice. So if the number is 0, this is even. If it is not 0, what happens? For example, if I run this program right now, so I go and run this program right now. Let me clear screen and run the program. And I go and enter 10 over here to tell me that 12 even. It tells me that it's even. It's correct. It's working perfectly. If I run the program again, and I enter 11, the program tells me nothing. And the computer is doing its job, because if the number is even, then we didn't tell it to tell him anything. So I have to correct it. It means that here I have to say else into bracket, C out is odd. The else statement here becomes the alternative. So this is what we call the if and alternative. That is, if you're not correct and you are wrong, you go to the else. You go here. So if you're not even, then you are what? Odd. So if I press this, let me clear the screen again. So CLS, and let me run the code again. Oh, I have an error in line 11. So let's go and see. So line 11, I have C out this. I think that's fine. I have that. Let's see if the work. I did. Let's run it again and see where I'm getting the error. Out does not have a type. Missing terminator in the current position. That is this. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. So I terminated it here. The symbols are correct. Did I spell something wrong? Let's see. So C out is. Let me see if it's done. Or let me copy this and paste it here. Yeah. Over here, I'll just change this to odd. It's odd. And then let me run it again. So run. Let me clear the screen. I run. I'm fine. I enter 11. And over here, it's telling me this was odd. Perfect. Now, again, life is not like this. In life, you don't have if I do this and it doesn't work, then I'll go and do that. Sometimes you do, if this doesn't work, I'll go and do this. If this doesn't work, I'll go and do that. If that doesn't work, I'll go and do this. If this doesn't work, I'll go and do that. You have that. So if the number that you have entered is 0, 0 is not even or odd, it is 0. So over here, we would say else if the number %2 is equal to 1, that means that this number is what? Odd. Then here we'll say else the number is what? 0. In that case, we have taken care of every single part of the code, so that if I run this code here, I save it, I click run, it runs, I enter 0, it tells me that my number is what? Even. Red flag. That means that I have to first check if the number is 0. So let's first check if the number is 0. So if the number is equal to 0, then we'll say your number is what? 0. If the number is equal to 0 here, then it is even. Then anything else is what? Odd. So that when we do it like this, you can see when the number is 0, I'm getting 0. Now, just for a food for thought, let's go back to what it was before. I'll send it back. Let's go here. When I did this, it told me my number was 0. And it is correct, because over here, number modulus 0 modulus 2 is 0. So it will always give me even. That is why I thought of it and changed it to this, so that the first thing I'll check is if the number is 0. If it's not 0, then I can go and check anything else. Because number modulus 2 would, or 0 modulus 2 will always give me 0. That means if I put the checking of the number as an even number as the first one, if I put 0, I always get 0. This will take care of the 0 for me, so that everything else will take care of the rest for me. Careful positioning, careful movement. Sometimes there are things which have to come before other things, so that the answer you would get would be what? Correct. Let's come back to the questioning which was given. I'm sure by now we have forgotten the question which was given. So you will ask another lovely person to read the question for us. Then we'll solve it using the if statement.
I don't mind reading it again.
You can read it again.
Okay, a car with a 20-gallon gas tank averages 21.5 miles per gallon when driven in a town, and 26.8 miles per gallon when driven on the highway. Provide the user with the menu as shown below. Distance covered. Please make a choice. 1, town. 2, highway. Enter 1 or 2. Please understand. Okay. Write a program that's based on the choice of your user, calculates and displays the distance the car can travel on 1 tank of gas when driven in town and when driven on the highway. Also converts and display the distance in kilometers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, a question like this, where I can go with either town or highway, choose this or that, do this or that, can you do this or this? Note that all of these questions are questions in which there is an if implementation somewhere in your question. So before you even write the code, you know that there's going to be an if implementation somewhere. Now, to solve this, I have double gallon is equal to 20.0. I have double. Miles per gallon underscore town is equal to 21.7. I have double. Miles per gallon underscore highway is equal to 26.0. Okay. I have double. Kilo miles per, kilo miles per mile is equal to 1.60934. Okay, so this is the information they gave us. They said that we should write the code like how they see it over here and ask the person for his info. So I'll copy this, save me some time, just paste it over here. And then over here, I'll just type the C out, right? So here, here. I'll just say C out. And then I'll do this. It always helps when you're a lazy person, because the lazy person will always look for the laziest way to do something. But I know that my students are not lazy. They will type it properly because they are better than their teacher. So here I have NL. So I have double quote like this, and L, and L. Voila. I've done all of them at a go. Perfect. Which means that if I go and run this code, I'll see distance covered. Please make a choice. Click 1 for this, click 2 for this. Then the person has to click and then make whatever choice he makes. That means that over here, I need to create a variable called int choice. Now, why is choice over there? Choice is over there because I would see in the choice the user has what? Made. So whatever choice you have made, I'm going to put it inside the variable called choice. And it is an integer because I said press 1 or 2 to determine what you will do. So the choice will determine what you will do. Now, if the person chooses and what he has chosen is equal to 1, that means that he wants to what? Do town. The person wants to do town. So over here, I'll create a variable for distance, which is going to be a double, distance underscore miles. So that in here, I can say the distance underscore miles is equal to the gallons he or she will use times the kilometers per mile. And then the distance underscore kilometers. Again, we don't have this variable, so I'll come here and create a double and then put this variable here. So that over here, I'll say the distance in kilometers is equal to the distance in miles that we calculated at the top here in miles times the kilometer per mile. So now I can just say, see out distance in town then here I can just say distance in mouth. And then here, I'll just say mouse. Now bring an NL here. In here, our distance in town again. But this time, this place is not going to be miles, it's going to be kilometers. But here is going to be kilometers. If the choice of the person is going to be 2, then I'll basically do the same thing as I did over here. But over here, instead of me having distance per mile, I have distance. Oh, I think I made a mistake. Over here is supposed to be the MPG town, which is this one. Then over there, it's supposed to be MPG highway, which is supposed to be what? This one. Go. Now, everything else will remain the same as it is. MPG highway. Perfect. Everything else will remain the same way. But here, instead of me saying town, I'll have to say the distance on the highway. Perfect. Now, there are always crazy people. So else, I'll see out invalid choice. Please enter 1 or 2. Full stop. And what? L. So that if I run my app now, let me clear my screen so that everything is fresh. Let me run the app. It says I should enter 1 or 2, but me, I'll enter 3 because I want the thing to crash. So if I press it, it will tell me invalid choice. Okay. If I run it again, I press 1 to tell me, oh, in town, this is how much I'll spend. If I press 2 to tell me that's about how much I'll spend. Because I didn't give a space over here, you can see that the town and the kilometers are the same. You see, so I'll just go back to my code, give a colon here in the space so that my thing looks a bit nice. And I'm presented with this. I have taken the question here and I have broken down the question into code that would work using the knowledge I have in if statements. Do we understand?
Yes, sir.
If you learn coding like it is for mass, you will not do a good job. I can promise you that. It will get hard for you. And secondly, too, if you put it in your mind that it is hard, you will not learn it. It is a language. It is a language we speak. We speak the language of coding. So you must learn the structure. The structure you must learn. If we write it like this is the structure of if. This is how it should be like. You must learn the structure. The structure of an if statement is if into brackets, the condition, then you have the body, which will have the action you perform. If it is an alternate if, then you add the else, and then you have the bracket. If it has multiple alternates, then you have else, if, you have another condition, and then you have your else statement at the bottom. You can have multiple other conditions. You don't have to have one. You can have even more than one. This is the structure they have given you. How you would use the structure to do things, it is up to you. But before you can do that, you must learn how to solve problems. You must learn how to break problems down. You must learn how to maneuver problems. That is the only way you can then put them in this structure to solve.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So the if block and then else if, which of them can you repeat more than one time?
The if, what do you mean by the if block and else if?
I mean the else if. So I mean in the problem we just solved right now, I want to know how many times did you repeat the if?
You can see it on the screen yourself. How many times did I repeat the if? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Here is supposed to be else if. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be an else over here.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Let's have another question. Let's say that hypothetically we have been asked to do the grading of students. And we are saying that if you are a student and you go to school with us, sorry, 1 second. This is the grade scale of our school. So our school uses this grade scale. If your mark is between 90 and 100, you have A. If it's between 80 and 89, you have B. If it's between 70 and 79, you have C. If it's between 60 and 69, you have D. And if it is below 60, then you have an F. This is the question. How will you solve it? They are saying that your mark determines if you have A, B, C, is it D, or F? Let me write them capital letters. So A, B, C, D, or what? F. This is the determinant. So what do I need to know what grade you got? I need to know your mark. So even without me doing anything, let me copy this for you guys. to send to you. Okay. So I've copied it for you guys. Now I can in here. Int mark. So that here I can say see out that display on the screen, enter mark. And here I can say see in mark. Then over here, I can say, please, over here, I can say, if the mark of the person is greater than or equal to 90, and at the same time, the mark of the person is less than or equal to 100, then that person, we should see out that that person has a what? A. Now, if this is not the case, else, check if the mark of the person, right, is greater than or equal to 80, and at the same time, the mark of the person is less than 90. Less than 90 means 90 is not part, by the way. Then that means that that person got a what? A B. Else, if the person, the mark is less than, is greater than, 70, and at the same time, that same mark is less than 80, then that person has a what? C. Else, if the mark of the person is greater than 60, and that same mark of the person is less than 70, then that person has a D. Now, if I am looking for something, I am looking for somebody. Let's see that Khadija, Priscilla, and then Ranger and me went out to town and I lost my phone. And I said, Ranger, did you steal my phone? Ranger said, no. And I said, Khadija, did you steal my phone? Then Khadija said, no. Who took my phone? It is Priscilla. So over here, we are looking for something. We search here, we didn't find. 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 Do we have to search again? No. We'll just say else. See how it is what? F. Because if you are not A, you are not B, you are not C, you are not D, then you are what? F. So if I run this program, let me just clear screen. And I run this program. You can see that over here, I have 12 here. Tells me I have F. I run this program again. The person got 68. It tells me that the person got D. Run this program again. The person got 70. Let's say he got 75. The person got what? C. So technically, it is like a chain. So if you are not here, then we'll come and check here. If you are not here, then we'll come and check here. If I remove the if from there and do it like this, it means we will check here and then we'll come and check here separately. But this one means that go here or come here if you don't find it here, or come here if you don't find it here, or come here if you don't find it here. So it is a chain and they are chained together. Next week, when we meet face to face, it is very important for us to all have the software installed. Next week, we'll have to use